Tondo
Impasto. All right.
We're live.
We're live. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Good afternoon.
Buongiorno.
Good evening.
Dobro utro.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Boy, that tastes good today.
Yeah.
How is yours?
It's good.
Yeah.
And put some cinnamon inside and it's real delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Uh-oh.
What you got?
I got a little crack.
Oh, it cracked?
I don't know if it was there before. I just noticed it now. Welcome to Tondo Impasto. My name is Amy.
And I'm Kras.
And we are cataloging our family's legacy every Monday through Friday. We live stream here on YouTube, and we go through what is the first phase, Impasto phase, with Boris's, which is my grandfather, and Kras's father's miniature paintings that are just, the joy of my morning every day to look at.
It's amazing, what we can see every day, different stories, different things. He's been very, he's been working all the time.
Yeah. No.
Thousands of them.
Yeah. So we are up to 110, maybe 110 by today.
Yeah.
900 and 800, however many to go.
Yeah.
And then after we sort of feel like we have a good grip on everything that Boris made during his life, we will move to the Tondo phase, which is this and this, which we're both drinking. And this is Yova, my grandmother and your mother's, her life's work, which were beautiful ceramics. She was a ceramicist, and she was a historian. She was a lot of things.
Yeah, she was everything.
She was everything. She was the best grandma.
Yeah.
Best grandma in the world. And so the mug that you were drinking out of is from 1971.
Yeah.
And then this one comes from my brother's collection, and it's 1981. So anyways, I see a little crack. I don't know. Can you see that?
Yeah, it probably cracked by, I don't know, where did he get that?
She gave it to him.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that when he went to Bulgaria at some point, I know she gave him some beautiful pieces for his collection. And this is part of there's a nice big bottle that you can put like rakia.
Yeah.
And then these are the little cups to accompany.
Okay.
I think you could do wine in here too.
No, not wine, rakia.
You think so?
Yeah, well, she's got, I remember, she's got different
like special ones for the
cups,
wine.
Yeah, for the wine.
Okay, well, we have an amazing restorer who does absolute miracles with fixing this stuff. He's in Bulgaria. His name is Sasho. He's just, I think one of the world's best. And I remember when I first met him, when we were kind of doing a little bit of restoration on some of the pieces that we wanted to show for Yova. So we did a big exhibition back in 2018, an art exhibit celebrating 100 years since her birth.
Yeah.
And it all just kind of happened because we were getting ready to sell our villa there.
Yeah.
We discovered all this artwork, we preserved it, and then we did this centennial exhibit that celebrated her. And anyways, Sasho was recommended to me, and he does now monasteries.
Yeah.
Like he's doing the
restoration.
Yeah, restoration, but on the frescoes.
Murals.
Yeah, on the is it fresco or mural?
Yeah.
Unbelievable talent. And anyways, so he told me, he said, do you want me to restore it in a way that you cannot tell there was ever a crack?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to do it the Japanese way? You know the Japanese way?
No.
They use gold, and they show every crack, but they seal it with gold.
Oh, wow.
It's really interesting because the way they look at it is that it's almost like the history of the piece.
Yeah. That's what I do in my paintings. Without even knowing the Japanese way.
You whenever there's a...
Yeah, well, I'm using it as a design into my paintings, you know.
Yes.
And I'm looking for cracks or something like that so I can do some designs.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. So yeah, it's a we'll have to look up. We have Claudio as our assistant. We can see what is that like, where did that tradition come from? But you probably recognize like some famous pieces, and then they have like the gold, where you can tell where the old bowl.
Well, you know, I've been watching, you know, the monasteries in Bulgaria that, you know, they're cracked and stuff like that. And those cracks are giving you some ideas, you know, movement and something like that. And from those cracks, you can create another thing. So I've been observing all this, and that's why, you know, in my paintings, I'm using that kind of idea. You know, when I see a crack, oh, that's nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. It's like, don't try to whitewash and clean it all up and make it seem like it never happened, but celebrate that it happened in a way, or honor it.
Yeah. And then for my clothes, that I'm designing my clothes, the same thing, you know, I'm looking for old clothes that are ripped off or something, and then I do some design on that thing that is missing, or, you know.
I didn't know that's the approach that you take.
Oh, yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. So it becomes very, very, very nice, you know, very modern. And especially young people, they see me, oh, you're cool, man. Oh, wow. Where did you get this?
Yeah, you do. You have I think you have an Instagram channel.
Yeah, my granddaughter.
Yeah, so we've got, from among the grandkids, everyone's got talents. And this one wants to actually get into film and television, wants to be a film director. But she started an Instagram channel taking pictures of your outfits because they're unique.
Yeah, and one time I went to pick him up at school. She brings about 10 kids. That was the showcase. Oh, this is my grandfather, you know.
They never saw anything like that.
Yeah.
You're not the typical grandfather. Yeah, that's cute. Yeah, so maybe we'll have to figure out how to... I just found out from Gwenna this morning. Hi, Gwenna, if you're watching.
Yeah, good morning, Gwenna.
That I'm trying to put the link to the show in our Instagram, Tondo Impasto page, and it's not working. So, anyways, we got to figure it out. Well, and one of the things that we've been saying as we've been doing this is our 22nd episode. But before that, we even had 15 test episodes.
Yeah.
Mistakes will be made. We're just going to keep making mistakes. But we're not going to try to hide them.
Yeah. No.
Like the Japanese. We're going to celebrate and like your approach to it. Celebrate our mistakes.
Yeah.
So we've got a new batch of 5 paintings today. The last one, which I'm saving the best for last, is just gonna blow the roof off of this place because it is such a find. I'm so excited to share it with you. And then I have another little surprise I found, you know, in the room with the boxes that has photos and letters and stuff like that. So what would you like? Shall we go over the first painting, or how do you want to?
Yeah, well, let's go with the first painting. This is it right here, right?
It is, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the close-up.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Where's my close-up? Huh. All right. Stand by. I thought I put these in there. Okay, so here we go. Boom.
That's beautiful.
Yes, this one though, I will say that's so strange. None of my close-ups are here. Anyways, this one, if you guys can take a look, you can pause and pinch in. There are a couple little pieces that the painting that like it looks like it almost peeled off. I don't know if you want to look at it with the lupa, the magnifying glass, but it's on the bottom. I think it's the bottom. You see, it looks like it's almost peeled, and then there's over here also, and it's even.
Yeah. Well,
so
the way this painting is, they look like part of it.
Oops, I'm messing up stuff here, you guys. That's the first painting. It does kind of look like it's part of it, but anyways, all I'm trying to say is that if you really look closely, you will see.
They look like part of the whole thing, you know.
Part of the composition.
Yeah. They just happen, you know. They are little like the paint is gone, but with all the white elements inside.
Yes.
They just.
It almost like it's missing in the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That's what we were talking about.
Exactly what we're talking about. In fact, I have to go to. Let me go to Claudio here and ask about this Japanese tradition of restoring broken vases, ceramics. Do you need some water? You're okay? Or?
I'm okay.
All right. I'm just asking here. It's like all these things are a sign of the history. And you know, maybe doesn't need to be like repaired in such a way that
No. If I'm the owner of that painting, you know, I wouldn't touch it because it's like a part of it.
right. I agree. I think that there's like different types of people. Okay?
Yeah.
Some people want everything to be perfect, and if something is out of place, they want it, you know, taken care of. And then if something breaks, they want it repaired.
No, I understand that,
Yeah.
you know, but this is not for this kind of a people, you know. This is for people that when they see that piece, you know, then they're not going to look for cracks or anything like that, you know. It's good enough for them. So it's good enough for me, you know.
For me too. I'm not trying to. Well, that's why we're showing everybody everything as it is.
Yeah, this is not a shoe or
A shoe.
you know, if you see something on the shoe, oh, I gotta repair that. I mean, this is an art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a living thing too.
Yeah,
it's had a history. Yeah. Well, so you know what? I mean, it costs these art conservators. I mean, they charge so much money to make it look like perfect.
Yeah. Well.
And
What would you do on that thing? You know, you put let's say, you know, a little bit dark inside, and there goes the the movement of all this white.
yeah, here I'm not going to touch it, but I just want to show you guys. See down here in the bottom, in the middle, and then up here on the kind of, you know, center upper right. It's white. That's the close-up in the studio because that's what's underneath all the layers of oils. But I totally see what you're saying, that it kind of...
No, it blends. It blends with everything. You know, it just it's in the right spot. You know.
All right. Well, I found the name of the. Claudio says you're thinking of kintsugi, which translates literally to golden joinery. The practice goes back to the 15th century in Japan. When a ceramic bowl or vessel breaks, instead of discarding it or trying to hide the repair, the artisan mends the cracks with lacquer mixed with powdered gold or sometimes silver or platinum.
Yeah.
The break becomes the most beautiful part of the piece.
Yeah.
The repair is the decoration.
Yeah.
It comes out of wabi sabi. And no disrespect, I'm not trying to mispronounce stuff, but wabi sabi, the Japanese aesthetic philosophy that finds beauty in imperfection, impermanence, and incompleteness. A tea bowl that has been broken and repaired with gold has lived. It has a history. It is more interesting, more honest, and arguably more valuable than one that never broke.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible? The connection to the painting number 106 is perfect. Those two areas of paint loss, the chip at the bottom center and the missing piece upper right, are not damaged to be hidden. They are evidence. Let me show it in close-up again. That paint came off because the painting was handled, stacked, moved, stored, lived with. Boris didn't make these for museum vitrines. He made them on scraps of hardboard and corrugated cardboard and whatever was at hand. They were made to exist in the world, not behind glass. If you try to fill those losses with conservation grade in painting so they disappear, you're erasing the history of the object. You're saying the painting's life after Boris doesn't count. Kintsugu says the opposite. The life after it is part of the work.
Yeah.
That said, there's a practical distinction worth keeping in mind. Stabilization, making sure paint loss doesn't spread to secure loose edges, is different from cosmetic repair. Filling and matching so you can't see it. So stabilization protects the painting's future without erasing its past. Yeah, so like when we see little pieces of a frame that's come off, we can like just kind of glue it back or something. But anyways, this kintsugi philosophy kind of gives us a language to how we're approaching this whole collection, right?
Yeah.
We're not restoring them to the, I don't know, some imagined original state. We're documenting them as they are right now, chips and all. And the condition notes aren't a list of problems. They're a biography.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful. No, I believe in that, that philosophy. I've been doing it without even knowing
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
I have a burn on my shirt from my cigarettes smoking, and I make a design,
You're like, oh, okay, that's...
Yeah. And I've been using sometimes gold, and that, it becomes beautiful. They say, oh, wow, what is that, So I've been doing that,
Yeah, well, that actually, that's great. I love that that's how you do stuff. And I remember when I was younger, it used to like aggravate me because I used to think like, you're not being perfect with it, I would get like frustrated. But now I realize like, this is a philosophy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
This is a way
It's meant to be, so.
I want to write
You're
down.
not gonna.
Wabi sabi and kints, kintsugi. Well, I think a lot of people are also, well, I should say, I don't know, it's not just women, it's men as well. But this whole cosmetic industry, like doing all kinds of stuff to your face so that you're not showing your age, you're not showing your wrinkles.
No, I understand that. It's perfectly fine what they're trying to do, make it perfect.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about art, it's completely different.
But isn't a human body also like a kind of a work of art?
Well, it is, but it's kind of a commercial.
The human body?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Everything what you're using is commercial stuff and this and that in order to make something for about half a day or a day, as long as it lasted.
Right.
And that's about all.
You mean like when people get dressed up with makeup and stuff?
Yeah,
It's just for like an event or...
Yeah.
I should show this picture. We showed it yesterday. It's both your... So here's your parents, my grandparents, Boris and Yova, back in 1940. And they're just young and beautiful. Yeah. Here, let me see if you can see it up here.
Yeah.
And then, you know, as time goes on, I guess it's like 50 years later, here they are. And, you know, they were so natural.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when he came to visit and you guys took him for a haircut and they wanted to trim his eyebrows. Like, wasn't there some story about that?
He didn't want them to touch his eyebrow.
Like, they were like long. And what happened? They wanted to just trim it a little bit?
Yeah. I guess they did. You know, he was mad. You know, he said, why are they doing that? You know.
Because once you cut it, then it starts growing longer. I think.
No. He just want to be natural, you know, without any
nips and tucks and clips. And
yeah. He's not a movie star or something to present some character. He's what he is.
Yes. He is. And here they are, you know, I guess they would have been in their 70s here. Probably right around maybe your age.
Yeah.
But, you know, she did not color her hair.
No.
And at that time, there was some like really ugly Soviet colors. Like it was, there was like an orange mop red, and then there was like a purple.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this. Like, there weren't very many natural looking colors. I think now you can kind of sort of make it look natural, but anyways, no, she was natural. And I remember I would put some makeup on her just to like show her how, you know, for fun. But she put like maybe some lipstick.
Then, you know, when they came over here, I wanted to take him one of the best places in town, the Biltmore Golden Room.
Yeah.
So I bought her a nice dress like a queen, you know, nice blue, beautiful dress, you know, a lot of money. And some jewelry, earrings and stuff. When she dressed, she said, I don't feel comfortable.
Really?
Yeah. I said, well, we are going to a place that it's one of the best. They have violins coming and performing right next to the table. Uh-huh. And it's a special day. You don't have to wear this. You know, this is it, you know. So she was very uncomfortable because it was beautiful. She looked real nice. She looked like a queen. But she's used to be, you know, every day, you know. Comfy, yeah.
Did she end up wearing it or did she change?
Yeah, she wore it.
She did wear it. Okay.
For the Biltmore, but after that I never seen her wearing it.
Okay, yeah, it was a one and done.
Yeah, one day.
One day. Yeah. Do you know if you have any photos? Maybe we have a picture.
Probably, you know, because I don't know where the photos are. You know, we don't have anything. Maybe you do.
Yeah, I probably do. I'll have
so
to
you
look.
can check it out. It's like a nice blue, sky blue.
Okay.
And
I make a note. Look for the sky blue dress.
It was a beautiful material. It could be silk with something else.
The Biltmore dinner.
Yeah.
So the Biltmore Hotel here in Phoenix, Arizona is a Frank Lloyd Wright architecture.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful property.
And the Golden Room used to be the best place to dine.
Yeah.
And you kids were little, you know. So
did we come with you, or did you just? Oh
yeah, I took everybody.
Okay, I don't remember that.
Oh yeah. We went a couple of times, not only one time.
Oh wow. Okay. Maybe it's kind of now starting to sort of come back to me. Interesting.
If you see some pictures, you know, I don't know where the pictures are, but I'll
Well,
show
I
you.
have some albums that are from when we packed up the house.
So definitely, probably, because she looked like a queen,
Wow.
and probably we did make pictures.
Yeah. But for the purpose of just kind of giving you guys a picture of what kind of people they were,
Yeah,
salt of the earth. Like
Yeah.
when people say that, I mean that's who they have in mind.
yeah,
Natural people
Yeah.
who are not trying to show off,
Yeah.
who are not trying to pretend like there's something they're not.
yeah,
They're not pretentious. They're just humble. They're kind,
yeah,
and they cared about humanity.
exactly.
They really did. I mean, they did a lot for their friends and for their family. And so this is one way that we're honoring them so that they can look down from heaven and know that it was not for nothing. Although
Yeah.
for them, I don't think that they weren't doing it for recognition or
No,
fame or
no.
notoriety or whatever. But it's interesting because as I go through things and maybe we can do one more painting and then I'll show you the next thing I found. It's interesting because I have this feeling that she kept such good notes about stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe not Boris as much, but your mom was really kind of, I don't know, like I found like documents of like different things.
yeah,
So you can really piece together the history.
yeah.
I don't know if she was just saving it for the sake of saving it or maybe.
No, that's how she was very organized, because she had a lot of things in her mind, and and she was very organized. In order to be organized, you have to put down everything.
Yeah.
So you won't forget this, you won't forget
Yeah.
that.
Before there was a Claudio.
What's the number of that one?
Okay, yeah, and let me read the description of it. Once I get to that page here. All right, so this one will be number. Hold on a minute now. I should have put the notes. Okay, here we go. 106. So today we're doing 106 to 110.
Okay.
All right, so this one is a seascape or a coastal scene. It's not an abstract, right? This is from the Black Sea.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It is a scene from the Black Sea, but
Here's
you turn it this way, it's an abstract.
Wait. Let me
Very
go back.
modern.
Yeah.
This way, very modern. Upside down, So each time you turn it to something, because it's a very monumental piece, even though it's so small, changing the position becomes something else. It's beautiful any way you watch it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we have it written as a landscape.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
It
it's
is
got
a landscape.
swirling water fills the lower half, lighter band suggests horizon or shore, and a turbulent sky churns above. Heavy palette knife with visible ridges and peaks across the entire surface, and it's that dark maroon Passepartout mount.
Yeah.
So this is actually, if you guys were watching yesterday, we had also this same dark maroon Passepartout.
Yeah, it's probably from the same. Maybe it could have been some kind of a show he made.
Perhaps.
Because they're all the same color, the same Passepartout.
Perhaps. Okay, so let's go to the second one of the day. Boom. This one will be number 107.
Wow, that that looks like Arizona and all this. Wow.
So this one, also a landscape?
Yeah, it is a landscape. It's again from the Black Sea. But when you look at it, the first impression I got, it was like those interesting caves and stones in Arizona that you can go through. Look at it.
Yeah.
But looking at it from bird eye,
Yeah.
it's like rocks and the water around there.
Okay, can you put it on the easel so they can see the close-up of it? Here it is in studio. I can move this just a tiny bit this way so it doesn't pick up on my face. Okay, so there it is. Close-up on the easel in the studio. Described as intensely dynamic. A sweeping arc of deep blue and teal curves through the center, bordered by bold ochre and gold with flashes of deep red and crimson. A lighter blue-white mass breaks through in the upper left, and the lower portion swirls with greens, yellows, and small dots of white and red. The whole composition has a vortex-like energy. The palette knife ridges pronounce the deliberate. Reads as a stormy cove or turbulent water. So, 107.
Yeah.
But this one looks like it's in excellent condition, actually. Like,
Yeah, it is.
I don't see any.
But you can watch it two different ways. First impression, I said, "Wow, that's got to be Arizona. Those red rocks and like caves and like bridges."
Oh yeah, that rainbow bridge over by Lake Powell.
Yeah. But when you look at it from iBird, from
Bird's eye,
then becomes something that is floating into the water.
Rainbow Bridge, Lake Powell. Yeah. So it kind of depends on how you look at it, from above, from the side. Yeah, that's really gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the second one of the day. And let's go to, should we do the third one? Or should we do a quote of the day? What do you think?
Well, let's do the third one.
All right, we're going to the
I
third.
can't wait to see what.
Oh man, you're gonna they get each one gets more and more interesting. All right, boom. There's number 3.
Wow.
Tiny, fiery, abstract centered on a mount that looks like also Boris painted on the mount.
Yeah. Wow.
So the painting itself blazes with golds, oranges, deep reds, and crimson against dark teal and black forms. And then if you look at the mount, he painted dark blue-gray field with large, rounded rectangular form in deep maroon and brown. Framing the painting like a doorway or a portal. That's kind of interesting. A thin gold edge runs along the border. And this is the first time we've seen Boris treat the Passepartout mount as part of the composition. So it's not just holding the painting, it's part of the work. What do you think when you look at it?
It's an abstract and it's a very, very beautiful composition.
I'm just going to go.
I see some red spots in the Passepartout.
Yeah, well, that's like he painted it around it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. You want to look at it again? I can go to the. Yeah, no, here, I can show you on the photo. Look at this. You see how there's painting on the actual.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't see it when I had it in my hand.
Right.
But now I can see it. It's nice.
It's kind of got some sort of movement around it.
Yeah.
Okay, and anyways, there's a sticker on the back. Did you see the sticker?
No.
Number 24.
24.
So this was definitely part of a show.
Yeah.
Here, let's show the sticker to the people watching. And there you go, guys. 24.
Huh. Yeah, so he had probably a one-man show with all this, the way he did the whole thing.
But that's the only one we've seen like that.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we're going to do, like I mentioned before, is every different type of sticker, we're going to have like the series.
Yeah.
So this one is kind of with like a bluish purple marker. There's some that have the numbers with pen and they're smaller. So let me just transition here to the... That's the close-up in the studio.
Beautiful. Huh.
Yeah, I love it. It's just kind of got some autumn feeling to it also. Okay, so shall we go to the surprise?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, let me start first with the quote of the day. And today I did two quotes because they're both, I love them both so much. Okay, so one is from Emily Dickinson. And one is from T.S. Eliot. And I'll read them to you. And so the first one is, if I feel physically as if the top of my head were taken off, I know that is poetry. And then the other one that's from T.S. Eliot, genuine poetry can communicate before it is understood. And I have to say, I never quite understood poetry very well, but I'll just say that Emily Dickinson was an American poet, born 1830 to 1886. She wrote about 1,800 poems, but fewer than a dozen were published during her lifetime. Her sister discovered the collection after she passed away. She wrote in short, compressed forms with unconventional punctuation, heavy use of dashes, and slant rhyme. She wrote about death, immortality, nature, and the interior life with an intensity that nobody else was doing at that time. She's now considered one of the most important American poets who ever lived, but she died mostly unknown. So, anyways, there's some parallels to her and Boris.
Yeah.
A little bit, right? He made his work in private, left mostly, most of it even unsigned. And then T.S. Eliot, he was born 1888 to 1965, American-born British poet, playwright, and literary critic. He won Nobel Prize in Literature in 1948. He was very intensely private. Dickinson was private, Eliot was public. He was a towering figure in modernist literature during his lifetime. And so this is from Claudio here. His line about poetry communicating before it is understood gets at something real about visual art too. Boris's paintings hit you before you can articulate why. So, anyways, T.S. Eliot wrote The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, The Wasteland, and 4 quartets. Anyhow, okay, so poetry being the kind of, interesting subject.
Yeah.
I was asking, well, how far does it go? And it's apparently one of the oldest human art forms. The earliest known example is 2100 BC, Epic of Gilgamesh. And oral traditions predate writings by thousands of years. Ancient works like Iliad by Homer 8th century BC, were composed for performance, not reading. Poetry began as memory, ritual, and storytelling before becoming literature. So, anyways, on the note of poetry, I wanted to set it up. I found this poem. I'll show it to you guys. And it says at the top, it's for Boris.
Yeah.
Okay? And on the back here is written poetry of Marga for Boris. So here's the poem. And I want to say that I basically found it when I was like preparing today's batch, and it's written by somebody named Marga and dedicated to Boris. So a poem by Marga for Boris. So that's Yova's handwriting.
Oh, okay.
She wrote like,
Yeah.
she folded it up and wrote like that's a poem.
Yeah.
So it was dated 12th of December 1984, I think. Can you see the date down? I think that's 1984.
84, yeah.
Yeah, so he was still alive. And it was written to him about his miniatures and by someone who had seen them and been moved by them. Okay, so dedication up here at the top says, for the drawing teacher, the artist Gorinov. And then I will say that we're not exactly sure this is precise translation, but here I will read the poem. And hopefully your top of your heads don't come off. Okay. Mighty forces have given birth from the land of comforts, in miniature, life enclosed in small frames, in flight with paints, colors, with bright pastels, soft parts, whirlwinds, fields and hues. Life rages in these paintings. The main themes play and shine, awakening in us loving heights and sparkling colors. This miniature, in its so much measure, futures, colorful dreams, life of gold and multicolored freshness, enclosed purely, the living fragment. You yourself gave up the comforts. There is a gleam from radiant mornings, these little leaves placed here to the simple societies, and to the beauty, and to marvel in a world of light with spacious plains. Life in the miniatures justifies the treasure of the feelings they unearth. Dear artist, poet, be bold with brush and palette. Begin a bubbling, boiling world with a spirit like its own, and gladden our eyes.
You know something? It says that she was a student of his.
Yes.
Wow. He moved so many hearts and brains all his life, She's not the only one,
Right?
Yeah.
Inspired her to write poetry about it.
Yeah. Huh.
But you don't know who Marga is, right?
No, one of his students. He teach for so many years, hundreds, thousands of them.
Yeah. So there's no single authority that qualifies or assesses what poetry is. The evaluation can come from critics, editors, readers, and audiences, but it depends on the context, culture, and reception rather than rules. Excuse me. Handwritten, beautiful.
Yeah.
We'll have to just check some of the, translation, because she talks about with your brush, but, if he used a knife, maybe for the poetic purpose, she said the brush.
Yeah.
So this is it, you guys. It's this really beautiful little handwritten letter from 1984. Or handwritten poem. But I've been saved with this folded up and says, stihotvorenie na Marga za Boris.
Yeah. Yeah, she wanted to put everything together, so not to miss it, who she is. Because he had so many people that admire his work and stuff like that, so you never know. So she makes sure that...
She kind of like writes it down.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that is a beautiful little poem, and it's I think it's communicating to us how she felt, at least, about his paintings. So we have two more.
Okay.
So shall we go to the fourth painting now of the day? And boom.
Oh, wow. That's again the Black Sea.
But look at that blue.
Yeah.
Look at that blue. I mean, it is just kind of reminds me of Yova's eyes.
Yeah.
Coastal landscape, open blue water fills the right side and upper portion. A curving shoreline sweeps in from the upper left with a green hillside in the lower left,
Wow.
touched by pink, mauve, and yellow. It says here a small structure or figure sits near bottom
Oh, that's
center.
45.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
We've got a number, folks. Another number.
Yeah. It's on a white passport too, but 45 maybe it's from a different show.
Let me just show the close-up here in the studio. Because you guys, if you can see this blue, I mean, it's just stunning. So, white surfer sand follows the shoreline curve. It's a lighter, airier palette work than the rest of the batch. It breathes. And it could be like a Black Sea cove or something, maybe?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It could be the golden sands.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And it looks like, daytime for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here it's saying sunrise light, but does that seem like sunrise? It's hard to tell.
No, it's during the day. I don't see any oranges or pinks. Or, it's during the day.
Okay. I just saw something on the... I hope we haven't been streaming with an echo this whole time. Because I think the camera was picking up our noise. Well, anyways, I just turned it off. So hopefully that wasn't super annoying. Oops. Okay. Well, let me show a cute photo of Boris with me and Eric. This one right here. So I think this is the first time we went to go visit. And I was in 3rd grade. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
It's a...
Is that a snow? Looks like a snow.
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, really good question. No.
No, it's not.
No, it's just... Well, I kind of tried to brighten it up because it was a dark photo, but this is, I remember, we went in 1978 or 79. So Eric was like 2 years old, maybe.
So they had some construction on the villa.
I don't know, is that the villa or is that some other place, like some monastery maybe, that we went to go and then we got a photo in front of it?
Because there's a wooden ladder. It could be a...
Anyways, I thought that was a cute one. I remember when we flew out that day. I think I basically was pulled out of school. We stayed for quite a while because remember I attended some classes there and stuff.
Yeah, that's a cute picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, was kind of mind blowing.
Yeah.
To be that young, and here's the picture.
It looks like white flowers on a tree, just like blossoming.
Yeah. Must have been spring or something.
Yeah, and then it fell on the ground, because it looks like a snow.
Well, it's not snow. It's the petals from the
Yeah.
But I remember that I remember I got pulled out of school and we flew.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe we stopped in Washington to get a passport or something. I don't even know.
I don't remember.
I don't even think you were on that trip with us.
No, I didn't go because they wouldn't let me in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That time was too soon.
Yeah. So, and it was dangerous. If they let me in, they might not let me go out. So
They might have wanted you.
Yeah, so your mother went with you guys.
And then she was sure they would let us out?
Yeah, well, no, she didn't have any problems.
Mm-hmm.
But I could have had problems. So.
But then after we went, we all went together like 4 or 5 years later.
Yeah, later, yeah.
Yeah.
Then everything started opening up.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody bothered us or anything like that, so.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, we have one final, absolute, just such a pleasant, wonderful surprise, and that'll be the last one for today. So, are we ready for number 5?
Yeah.
Okay, boom. There's the close-up photo. This one, you gotta really, really, really take a very, very close look with the lupa.
Oh, wow.
But just as you savor this one, because it's got like metallic in it, it's got silver at the bottom. Can you see at the bottom right?
Yeah.
Teeny tiny little B and a G.
Beautiful.
Can you see the B and the G? This one has initials, folks. This one is initialed. Tiny.
How do you see that?
Oh, it's there. It is there. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, okay, I saw it.
Can you see it? A tiny little B and a tiny little G.
Yeah.
In Cyrillic.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try to.
Yeah. If I was watching this, without checking it out with a magnifying glass, I wouldn't even say that there's something like that happen. But that's amazing that he finally put something.
He put a little tiny.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. All right, hold on a second. I'm trying to put stretch. No, that's not the right thing. Sorry, guys. I want to go in and
Wow.
and I want to show you. Well, go ahead, put it on the easel so you guys can see it in the studio here. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. All right, here it is. Now let me work on the close-up. But this was just kind of stopped me in my tracks. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's go. I want you guys to be able to really see this because it's just incredible. the tiniest little B and G. And I wonder if I can, let me just add, I have to add something. I'll try to do, okay, I'm just going to do these like little dashes so you guys can see on the painting. Okay. No, it's not really showing it that well. Okay, never mind. Okay, I'll just show you guys here. If you can see the bottom right, there's a little B, but it's a Cyrillic B and a little G.
Yeah.
Just tiny. Okay, so let me read the description for this one. And, okay. Landscape oriented horizontally. The upper half is a rose pink and white sky with vertical streaks of pink and coral and small gray-blue cloud forms. Lower half is grayish, brownish, silver earth, and with subtle blues and darker tones suggesting maybe there's like vegetation or something along the horizon. And it's a quiet, restrained, almost gentle compared to the energy of the rest of this batch, and then that lower right corner. First painting signed in the collection, number 110.
Yeah.
BG. BG. So, that's exciting.
Is that the first one so far?
That's the first one that has a little tiny B and a G. We've got paintings that have his signature outside of the painting, like on the passepartout, or like on that frame from Flagstaff, but nothing in the actual embedded.
And it's so small, and it's unbelievable how he put it.
How did he do it?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, it has a sticker 63.
Yeah.
So that is, you know, clearly from an exhibition. But the thing is, the question to ask is, why that one? Why did he want this one to have the little B and the G?
Maybe they got more of this type of paintings, on a different show or something.
Well, now I want to go back and look at the first 100 to make sure we didn't miss it. Because I was looking at it in the afternoon light yesterday, and I saw it, and I was like, I asked Jeff, can you please look and tell me, am I crazy, or is there a little B and a G? He said, no, I see it. I see it. Can you guys see it? I mean, it's there.
Well,
and there's a little period.
Yeah. On the big screen of TV, you can see it.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. See? This like little B, and this is the G, and a period.
Yeah.
I mean, unless that's part of the water, I don't think so.
No. It he put the B and G.
I think that's a little B and a G.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I was watching it with the
You can
microphone.
see it. Yeah.
I can see it.
It's really
Probably
very
he
subtle.
put it on the point of his knife, you know.
And just did like a tiny...
Yeah, just a little. Because it's very small. You know, it's like jewelry work.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So anyways, 3 new stickers, a actual signed painting.
Yeah.
Some that have that wabi-sabi.
Yeah.
That we are not going to astroturf or whitewash, but we're going to celebrate it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there was only one other thing I was going to show you. I think this is yours. And I'm wondering if it was some sort of sketch for a mosaic. Does that, I think that looks like you. Your work. While you're looking at that, I'll just do a quick. That was our first painting. Here's our
Yeah,
second.
probably it was like I didn't sign it.
Sound familiar?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It could be probably a project for a mosaic or something.
That's what I think. You have a mosaic like
Yeah.
that, or did one.
So it's very possible.
Can I show it on the camera?
But yeah,
Intricate. It's a Tondo.
yeah.
It's a Tondo.
But you know, I don't know why. I don't remember. You know, a lot of times, you know, I do something. I had in Bulgaria. You know, I went to a friend of mine, and he had a painting on it. I was watching. I said, "Oh, that's beautiful. Who did it?" He said, "You." I said, "You got to be joking."
Beautiful. Who did it?
I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, you gave it to me." I said, "Wow, I don't remember, you know." And this is the first time I'm making for my painting, you know, like, "Oh, this is beautiful." I never said anything that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't like my paintings, you know. I just have to turn them, and this is the first time, you know, because I haven't seen it for years. He said, "Well, you gave it to me." I said, "Wow."
That's funny. Yeah. I guess that's an experience, right? Sometimes you go back and you think,
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive. You know,
Yeah.
like, whose work is that? Oh, it's mine.
And you know, and then I felt uncomfortable because I can't do that for myself, you know, saying, "Oh, that's beautiful," and never satisfied, you know, with what I do.
Well, do you think Boris was satisfied with that one, that he put a little BG?
Well, he's satisfied because he just put it, and then you know he don't even have to sign it, you know. That's how he's been doing all his life. He's satisfied that he did something in that day, in that moment.
Right.
And then other people, they're happy when they see that, and
Right.
they can project their ideas to it. But I don't remember for him saying, "Oh, look at this, how beautiful I did it."
Right.
No.
Right. Sometimes we can be our own worst critics, and
Yeah.
you know, that's the thing about what we were saying. They were humble and just kind of doing stuff for the daily practice of it.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, that's the 100 and what did we hit today? 110.
110.
110 and a signature, well, initials. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, that's surprise. All right, well, chin chin.
Chin chin.
Ci vediamo domani, and
Do viždane.
doviždane, and buongiorno, and good night to
Yes.
people in Europe and Australia.
Other side of the planet. Well, thank you so much for sticking around if you're still here. We appreciate it. And we'll be back tomorrow. And today we started right at 9 a.m. Pacific. So, yeah, maybe we can kind of try to stick right around 9 o'clock or maybe 9:30, between 9 and 9:30. But anyways, this is also staying on YouTube for forever, so you don't have to watch this live. And hopefully we didn't mess up today's, well, like, again, mistakes will be made, so.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, and bye, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Tondo Impasto.
I can get my mic.